Hello and welcome! Silrace here with a build showcase. Build on your screen right there. Pause the video if you wish to copy the exact. Main components also listed in the description below. Griffin Sparky. At the time of making this I have only finished the basic pilot skills with this particular variant of Griffin, so if you have Elites and Master you will obviously see a performance increase over what you're seeing here. Also note that no modules were in use for making this video, so if you have the modules you will also get a performance increase out of those. Now, Griffins can be turned into really good brawler mechs, 55-ton medium mechs with quite a number of hard points, and Sparky is no exception. It can be turned into a very good energy brawler. However, I wanted to test out something completely different than the energy brawler on my Sparky here. So, couple large lasers, couple medium lasers. Frankly, not that many guns, to be all out honest with you. However, it seemed to work fairly well from all the testing I was doing with it, all the games I played with it. Even with, you know, not having that many guns. Essentially, the Alpha Strike isn't stellar and so forth, but you can keep on firing quite a bit. And you can touch things from farther than the brawling range. That's what the large lasers are for, after all. It is an interesting build, because it does go quite fast with the sort of a big engine I put in. And it really wants to join up with teammates to, you know, do things. Essentially form a firing line. That's what this build really wants to do. It doesn't necessarily want to go brawl range, like I mentioned, but it doesn't necessarily want to hang way far back either. Bring those medium lasers to bear along with the two largest, and you can suddenly be racking up quite a bit of damage, even if the Alpha Strike isn't all that stellar. But you also don't overheat very quickly, and that is even without having Elites and Master done on the pilot skill front. Crimson Strait is one of those maps where you will see fights happening all over the map, or you can see very strange movement and whatnot. I actually quite like it from that point of view. It isn't set in stone where people will actually fight on the map. But since team is going this way, let's go that way as well and do some supporting fire for them. Seems reasonable, right? Let's not walk into this thing, and people are very adamant of walking, you know, right through. Try to give people who are in front of you a little bit of space so they can turn around, walk backwards or whatever. Don't walk right into their rear, that is usually a bad idea. So put some laser fire into whatever little thing this was, and then we can see all the enemies on the minimap, on the entire other side of the map. But essentially these are free kills, right? The team chases down a couple hostiles, and we have the number advantage at that point. 3-1 on the kills. And that's exactly what the kind of stuff you do want to go, although this now feels a little odd, running a circle around the place. Frankly, we probably should have turned around and gone back the way we came, over the saddle as it's mostly called. We'll get over the hill and then come in from that angle, instead of keeping on running forward. But this is where most of the team goes, so this is where I go. This is not a build where you want to try and solo kill things with. This is not really a brawler after all. Unfortunately, we are really staggered on this engage, because people, you know, fast mechs run around on their own, so forth, but, well, can pour fire into things as they show up, like that. 3 shots completely free damage dealt with no retaliatory fire. And remember that Griffins are 55-ton mechs. They do have quite a bit of armor, which frankly means that you should use that armor for something, right? You should have allow people to at least shoot at you a bit, so that you can take some damage, which is otherwise might be going into your team. That's fine, right? I mean, who cares about a little bit of damage? Especially if you don't die for that damage. This is one of the nice things about this thing, because it has a couple lasers in an arm, so you can actually shoot upwards, so you can actually get rid of an UAV. So not everything is mounted onto the torso. Jumped over the hunchback, get down here, out of the long-range missile thing, but enemies are pushing in, so let's go help the teammates out, huh? Let's go help teammates out. Enemies are pushing in, huh? Right? Eat all of that onto the other side. Pour more fire, more laser beams into the opponents above. And very, very, very big, you know, mech advantage, number advantage. Usually secures the game at this point when you have this much of a numbers advantage. Of course, things can go sideways still, and you can still lose. This is especially true if you haven't been sharing armor well enough across your entire team. You may suddenly start losing people. The ones who with very little armor suddenly die, and then that goes on.
Target acquired.
That's fine. Let's go up here. Let's deal with the Atlas. Put the boxes between myself and the Atlas. Have the Atlas shoot somebody else. And worked fine, right? Atlas had too many targets to shoot at and got, well, distracted by everybody and went down. And there I forgot to use my jump jets to actually stop taking damage from the fall. Crab is stuck in a corner. That is one dead crab. Don't walk into dead ends. That is a general suggestion. Somebody's coming in behind me. That's okay. I'm gonna go around here and hunt down this low cost so it doesn't run around. Nope. Right? Anyway, game is pretty much done. Let's move on to the next one. Second game is on Canyon Network. Get from the Crimson Strait to a canyon. This is a map where the large lasers can actually do more of their job, because, well, you have canyons and you have the high grounds between those canyons. Essentially canyons between pieces of higher ground, and so you usually end up with a little bit more of a longer range engagement. Longer to mid-range engagement. So you get to do all sorts of other things with those large lasers. And also jump jets are really useful on this particular map. Really useful to traverse the terrain with. Now, of course, last game, as you could tell, I didn't get too much damage done, didn't get too big numbers. This build doesn't necessarily get the craziest damage numbers. It's about
target acquired.
Doing precision fire at certain ranges and working as part of your team's firing line.
Acquired.
And when you're doing a very good firing line, nobody actually gets really big damage numbers because enemies are supposed to die, right? They're supposed to die fast enough that nobody actually gets really good damage numbers. So, here we go. As you can see, the whole firing line thing. Teammates went in for the blackjack, was there to help, you know, kill the blackjack with them. Firing line, support fire, all sorts of things. And then of course there is a big thing out there which I do not want to engage alone at all. Don't do that, you will get shredded to pieces. I mean, be free to take some incoming fire. Just don't be the only thing everybody is able to shoot at, because that's a really bad idea. It's a 55-ton mech, so granted it does have some armor, but it just doesn't have infinite amount of that armor. So, yeah.
Target destroyed.
Another thing to note is that I don't cherry pick the best possible games for these videos. I bring games with rather average results, so people can get a feel of how the mech performs in different situations, and also how it does on average. It's not too hard to get kills with this mech because of the whole precision fire helping out the firing line thing, but it is very much possible to not do very big damage numbers, depending how the match goes. And here I am trying to guard a flank. Essentially, I know there is somebody out there who really wants to shoot at people and so forth, but I'm just trying to make sure they don't just, you know, freely poke at the side of my teammates who are, well, to my far left, kind of in the open, as you can see. But, I mean, the other choice is to just go and join up with the team, and that's the other thing we can do. Shoot at things. Go in there, help out teammates, and, yeah, whatever. Yep, there are a couple dudes there on that flank, which I was trying to guard. However, my team's here. Let's go join the team. Let's kill the things my team is already killing. That seems like a real good idea, right? Focus fire and all that. I mean, it's overpowered anyway. Don't do that if you want to win games and actually, you know, perform well in the particular thing. And this is one of those situations. Okay, lone enemy mech at the very rear of the team. That needs to die, right? That means if this thing dies, there is, you know, nobody on the far side of the team shooting us in the back. Now we can focus on this side, which is obviously good. Somebody on that side there, right? Shot me from there. There we go. Okay, now I know where it is. Let's use this rock to cover my side, and then fight onto this side. There's a big guy over there. What we can do is either cover the advance of the friendlies from up top here, or go after them, because jump jets allowed to do that. Or can go here and finally hunt down this guy who's behind the team, which should have been dead already, but let's go clear it out right now. That means once it's dead, nothing behind the team now, right? And use those jump jets, land correctly, and then go join the rest of the team. Because team is really split out now, not something you want to do. You will get shredded one mech at a time if you are completely and utterly split out. This is a fast enough mech, actually, that you can do the whole change flank thing, move from side to side, all sorts of other stuff. But still, it can be a problem if you get completely separated from the rest of your team. It can be a problem. The arm-mounted medium lasers, very good for shooting down UAVs. The torso-mounted large lasers not so good, because you might not be able to point them upwards high enough to get to a UAV. And here we go, a blackjack. Blackjack who's getting distracted by everybody, getting shot at from all sides. That's a good thing. Now, of course, he decides to shoot at me. Nope. Alright. Never mind then. Dead. And the game is pretty much done, right? Pretty much done. We are leading numbers by 5 mechs, and unless the enemy is extremely clever and we do something completely dumb, which is always possible, like going in one by one, then yeah, they could still win. So what I do, I walk up to this rock. I don't poke around it too far yet. After I see the teammate, you know, catching up, that's when you go around the corner. So as you can see, I walked towards the rock. Like if my teammates had been much slower, I wouldn't have even gone around the rock until teammates had caught up. And now, do the same here. Walk towards this rock. Let's see. Okay, he went up this way, right? Let's chase. Let's see if we can scare him back towards the team by going up through here. And trying to funnel him to, you know, go backwards instead of just forward. Alright, he did. Go backwards. That's okay. That means I can come into its rear or side or whatever. Don't go one by one into a hostile. That's a good way to die one by one. Of course, it's a Raven with a couple large lasers, with both of its legs pretty much done with, and there we have it. Get rid of the torso, that's also a good way to kill things. Like I mentioned, this is fairly good mech for finishing wounded enemies. And maybe all of this has convinced somebody to try this build out. You could slap in more guns or bigger guns or turn this into a brawler. That's what Sparky can do. But I quite like this. Thank you very much for watching.